Hi, my name is Pillot, and this week, I'm not at home. As you can probably tell just by the background. You see, what had happened was, I took a couple of days off to go somewhere with my family, and I'm still kind of away with them, but before I left, I didn't have enough time to complete this review. So I took the camera and I was like, you know what, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try and do the review on the road. And that's exactly what you're seeing here, okay? So I still have a movie review from you guys, even though it's not from my typical location, but just because there's a change in location does not mean there's going to be a change in content. So don't touch that dial, because this week I'm reviewing Fahrenheit 451. Was directed by Ramin Bahrani, and it stars Michael B. Jordan, Michael Shannon, and Sofia Boutella. This film is also an adaptation of the classic Ray Bradbury novel of the same name. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the story, it takes place in a dystopian future where firemen are charged with destroying books instead of actually putting out fires. And because there's no books, the government is able to control all the information that's out there. In the film, Michael B. Jordan plays a pretty high-ranking fireman, and a pretty well-respected one too, named Guy Montag, who's been burning books for as long as he can remember, without question. But then, something happens, and I won't go into it because it's very spoilery, okay? But something happens, and then his perception on the idea of burning books kind of changes. He starts to kind of second-guess himself and wonder whether or not what he's doing is truly right. Eventually, his curiosity takes him on a journey of self-discovery, as well as a journey towards the truth that's being kept a secret by the powers above. While this film sounds good on paper, see what I did there? But seriously though, while this film sounds good on paper, this film is a mess. I'm seriously baffled at what went wrong with this film, okay? Let me give you all the good stuff first. First and foremost, the three leads, Michael B. Jordan, Michael Shannon, and Sofia Boutella, are fantastic. So the problem cannot be with them, right? These guys are giving arguably award-worthy performances, okay? It seems like everybody is just so good. Every time that one of the three of them was on screen, I could not look away. Particularly Michael B. Jordan, who's just a fine actor in his own right. And Michael Shannon, who's just fantastic in everything. But yeah, whenever those guys were on screen, I was encaptured. I would not look away. I wanted to know what they were going to do or say next, right? Secondly, the direction was pretty good too. Now, I've seen some of Ramin Bahrani's stuff before, so I kind of had high hopes, and he didn't disappoint. There are a lot of scenes in this movie, a lot of strong images and imagery that really sticks with you after the film. Some things that I really still can't shake, and in a good way. But yeah, I do not know where this film went wrong. So by process of elimination, the only people I have left to blame for this film being so bad are the writers, the people who adapted it. Clearly, a lot of the things in Bradbury's novel needed to be updated, particularly because what people may have perceived as a dystopian future back then is different to how we perceive a dystopian future now. And that's fine, because a lot of the things that are in this movie are actually pretty cool. But there are a lot of other things that are just very, very dumb, okay? So much of this film is also very confusing, particularly in, I don't even want to talk about this so much because it's actually a major plot point in the movie. There's this one thing that happens in this movie, and it involves DNA. That's all I'm going to say, okay? But basically, it's this one thing that's being done to DNA, or they're going to do to DNA. Still confused, to be very honest with you. And I actually even had to look it up to see if it was even possible. And to be honest with you, I still don't know. That's how lost I am. After that point in the movie, the film really lost me. As I said before, it got really unnecessarily complicated and confusing. I mean, I understood the basics of what was happening, but I had to think about the logistics behind it. And yes, it did take place, or it does take place in a dystopian future, but still, I mean, I had to even ponder if, science would be able to do something like what they were talking about in the future. And it just really, took me out of the whole experience. Now, another thing I didn't really like about this film was the ending. Okay, so when I was little, I actually read Fahrenheit 451. Not because school assigned it to me to read, but because I actually wanted to read it. The idea behind the book and the concept of the book intrigued me so much that I decided to pick it up for leisure. And I really liked it. It actually turned out to be one of my favorite books growing up. And the ending is something that I've always remembered, is always stuck with me. And I mean, I was really excited to see how they would address the ending, how they would adapt the ending for the big screen in 2018. I was so interested and so excited to see that in particular. And they blew it. I mean, in my opinion, that is. But yeah, I did not like the way this adaptation ended. I mean, I do understand why the ending is the way it is. I mean, it had to for the sake of the story that they were trying to tell, for their adaptation. But it didn't really sit well with me. In fact, there were a lot of things in this movie that didn't really sit well with me. You know, I just keep on going back. I think it's one of those arguments where, you know, you just keep on comparing to the book, where obviously the book will always be far superior to any version of media that it's adapted to. But, yeah, this adaptation just really didn't sit well with me. That's all I can say. And I think if you read the book, you'll probably agree with me. And if you haven't read the book, and you're just watching the movie just to check out Michael B. Jordan or Michael Shannon, I still think that this film may not sit well with you, especially the way it ends. But yeah, like I said before, this film had a lot of great aspects to it, but ultimately it's very uneven and messy, as I said before. And for that, I'm going to give it 2.5 stars.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that.
You know, it also just occurred to me that Michael B. Jordan really likes to burn stuff.
I'ma burn it all!
Guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, I would ask that you please subscribe. I post new videos every week, new movie reviews every week to be precise. And next week, I'll be posting my first TV show season review ever. So I'm very excited to do that. I'm very excited to share it with you guys. But I will not be telling you what show it is. You'll just have to sit back and wait for that. I will also have my movie review of Solo, a Star Wars story, up in a couple of days, so you can check that out as well. And I'm debating on whether or not I should do a second movie review next week, similar to how I did this week. But it comes down to see if I have time, because I do have other things going on in my life as well. But even if I don't post a review here on YouTube, I may post a mini review on my Stardust page. Stardust, as I've mentioned here plenty of times before, is an app where you can actually review movies and TV shows yourself. It takes less than 30 seconds to sign up and another 30 seconds to post your first review. It's as easy as that. If you're interested in film or television, or if you just like to talk about films or television, it has a great community and it's a great platform to do just that. If you're interested, I'll post my link in the description box below, as well as my other links to all my other social media pages such as Twitter and Instagram. But yet again, I want to say thank you guys again for all the love and support thus far. Thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch these movie reviews. It truly means the world to me, and I look forward to doing my next one. So until next time, I'm Dempsey Pillot. Take care.